Sir, Shri Arvind Gupta ji, respected Principal Madam, Professor Shalja Pant, Director of the Institute, Shri V.K. Nagpal ji, HODs of various departments, respected faculty members and dear participants. I, Dr. Beena Joshi Bhatt, Program Coordinator, welcomes you all in one-day webinar on role of IPR in medical science for human welfare, organized by Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Natural Sciences under the guidance of National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission 2.0 in collaboration with DFAC and other IP facilitators. Before starting the webinar, I I I want the opportunity to read out the profile of our facilitator and our trainer, Advocate Pallavi Rahul Kadam. It is my privilege to introduce Advocate Pallavi Rahul Kadam. Pallavi Rahul Kadam, sorry, there is a glitch. Yes, it is my privilege to introduce Advocate Pallavi Rahul Kadam. Presently, she is working as trademark copyright plant variety attorney. She is a BIST mentor. She is a founder of the IP Adventure LLP designated partner, and she is a trained patent agent. So, before wasting the time, I welcome you, Madam, for this webinar. And dear participants, kindly and patiently, please attend the webinar. And in the middle of the webinar, we will share the feedback form for you. So, ma'am, please.
Well, very good morning or good afternoon or good evening to all of the participants who have joined all around the globe. And it's really a great pleasure to always stay in touch with Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Natural Sciences, especially with Beena Joshi Bhatt ma'am, because she takes care of all the technical things and we just need to come here and deliver our session. Ma'am, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so without wasting time, we'll be switching to our today's topic, role of IPR in medical sciences for human welfare. Ma'am, can I request all the participants to put themselves on mute?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Yeah, and
It
I'll
is a
also
request. Yes,
yeah
ma'am.
yeah, and I'll also be putting my camera off.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'm sharing the screen.
Ma'am,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
ma'am,
Yeah,
ma'am, ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am. It is cracking.
yeah. Is it fine now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
fine.
Now it is fine.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll share my slides. Is my screen visible, Bina ma'am?
No, ma'am.
It's not visible. Okay,
No,
can
ma'am.
I
It is not
share you
visible.
the? Now is it visible?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it is visible.
Okay, fine. So, as I said earlier, we are going to have a brief introduction about IPR and how it is going to benefit we as a human kind. So, last year on February 4th, 2022, I joined hand in hand with Niri Nagpur to briefly tell you all about the importance of IPR in wetland on the eve of Wetlands Day. Uh, now I'm going to just briefly let you know what are all the IPRs because it may take a couple of minutes for introducing all 7 types of IPRs which are recognized and well established in Indian jurisdiction. So let me begin with my uh, presentation.
Ma'am, ma'am, the screen is
Yeah.
visible, but
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am, the screen is visible, but it is the first phase of the of your presentation.
Yeah, yeah.
It is
Just
not. Yeah.
wait. I'm
Okay, ma'am.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Can you
Okay, ma'am.
please share my presentation? I'll share it via email to you. Is it fine, Bina ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. I stopped sharing, Bina ma'am. Can you please share the presentation for me?
Uh, ma'am, ma'am, you send it. Yes, ma'am. Just a minute. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Ma'am, just we are sharing it, ma'am. There is some problem, ma'am, but it will take around 2 minutes only.
Okay, no worries. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Now my voice is cracking or not?
Your
It is
voice
clear?
is clear, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am, it
okay.
is clear.
Yeah, Fine. Thank you very much, participants, for your patient hearing. There is some technical glitch in sharing my screen. So, Beena ma'am is going to share the presentation which I prepared to present the basics of IPR and its role. Once it is uploaded, I'll be able to explain what are all the types of IPRs and how they are important for mankind. Probably we in our daily lives we don't understand the power of IPR, right from using our toothbrush till going to bed using the mosquito net or mosquito gel or anything which will help us to prevent from mosquito bite. All these inventions are being handled, developed and commercialized by the innovators or common man like you and me. So it is not like a rocket science to develop any type of IP and to get it registered after filing and prosecuting. So my presentation will help you all to understand how it is easy to understand the problem statement in and around our life or in and around any business, and how you can identify the IP and how you can generate that IP and how it can be commercialized for the uh, commercial benefits of your enterprise. Once the slides are there, I'll be able to explain you the importance of all these IPRs, as well as how I have picked up three case laws which we handle on a daily basis for explaining you all how these inventions they are helping the human society at large. The innovators or the inventors, they have identified certain problems. Yeah, thank you. The screen is visible, ma'am. Yeah. I'm using, this is a disclaimer slide. I'm using few of the IPs filed by my clients or filed by giant manufacturers or the traders. So this is for just the education purpose. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is my introductory slide. You can note down all the details. Next slide. Yeah, it's a common myth that in India, if knowledge is there, then wealth is not there. So, Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati, they cannot go hand in hand. This is what we, as an Indian citizen, we believe that whoever is having wealth, they are not knowledgeable, or whoever is bears abundant knowledge, they cannot be wealthy. But during this presentation, I'll be just touching upon few things which will explain you how Goddess Saraswati will go hand in hand with Goddess Lakshmi. Next slide. Yeah. Why are innovations required for all of us? So, we have seen that there are certain improvements which are helping us in our daily lives. Like there were wells and there were luggage carriers also. But the person who accumulated these wells at the bottom of the carrier, then it helped all of us to bring that travel of journey a comfortable and a luxurious one. So these are nothing but the improvements the innovator or the inventor or the creative person has carried out to, in order to make our life comfortable. So these are the two important reasons. So first is to encourage improvements. Second is to stimulate new inventions of commercial utility. In older days or in last century, telegraph was the a common communication purpose for emergency uses. Later on, this telephone came. Now we are each and every family member of us is using smartphone. So this is nothing but the any invention, it is having the commercial utility. So in our daily life, these innovations are highly required, and we don't identify these as innovations. We feel that these are our uh, necessity items. But all these necessary things, whatever we are using on a daily basis, may it be while driving in a car or sitting in an office or working in kitchen, all these inventions they might have carried out by the inventors after identifying a certain problem statement. Next slide, please. Yeah. So can you please click on the first India Needs Innovation video? So why we are here to understand the importance of innovation in Indian jurisdiction. With reference to the context of the global digital economy, India is going to be 15 trillion economy. So how we can achieve this target of 15 trillion economy? Maybe we are not very much aware that we can bring out certain innovations and we can pull goddess Lakshmi to us, to the people having abundant knowledge. Now this video will help you to understand how India is highly required to carry out innovations instead of running behind the stereotypical uh, copy paste mentality of the common man. Sir, can you please play the video? If you click on the first, yeah, go back. If you click on India needs an innovation, go back.
Ma'am, ma'am, where is the video?
You go back to earlier slide. You click on India needs innovation. It is having that hyperlink because I am unable to open it. Go back. Yeah, click on India needs innovation.
Ma'am, there is only India need innovation. There is no, ma'am, this Jugaad. We have to click
Both.
on the Jugaad.
No, I have put
Hey, hey,
both the
hey, hey, hey.
videos. Yeah.
मैम here नहीं आ रहा ना इसमें भी जुगाड़
Yeah. Or else you stop, ma'am. I'll play the video. You stop. Hello.
मैम
Yeah, ma'am. Can you please stop sharing? I'll play the video.
ओके मैम
Yeah. Yeah. Is my screen visible to you? On?
uh, no ma'am yes ma'am yes now it is visible ma'am ये हो रहा है स्टार्ट हो रहा है it is starting
So, likewise, we as a country are highly demanding innovation to run towards the 15 trillion economy dream as dreamt by all the Indian citizens. Now, let me give a chance to show how we are innovative in our daily lives. So, I'll be playing one more funny video to make you all understand how we are innovative in our daily lives. Because earlier video, you might have thought that all the innovations which we have read just now, it may it be about ammonium nitrate synthesis or about the zero invention of zero or ludopathy like that. So this video will help you all to understand how we are innovative in our daily lives also. Just we need to know that this is nothing but jugaad mentality of we all people. So Jugaad is nothing but the innovation synonym for innovation in Hindi. So I'm just sharing that funny video so that you all will understand how it is important for us people to understand the power of innovation and the power of we as a human intellect to make our daily life very much simple.
कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ अरे कुत्ता मार कोई या कोई तीर मार कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ उसको बचाना है तो फ्यूचर बनाना है तो जहाँ वहाँ से जहाँ से जो उखड़े उखाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ अरे उम्मीदों पे नहीं टिकी है नहीं टिकी है नहीं टिकी ये दुनिया टिकी जुगाड़ पे दुनिया टिकी जुगाड़ पे ऊपर नीचे सभी जुगाड़ू भारी जुगाड़ू हैवी जुगाड़ चल तू भी झंडा गाड़ दे तू भी झंडा गाड़ दे झंडा गाड़ दे डेडलाइन का डंडा प्यारे सबको फोड़ रहा है नींद में भी हर बंदा किसी रेस में दौड़ रहा है उसको बचाना है तो फ्यूचर बनाना है तो जहाँ वहाँ से जहाँ से जो उखड़े उखाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ अरे तुक्का मार कोई या कोई तीर मार कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़ कर ले जुगाड़ कर ले कोई जुगाड़
So moving to next part of my presentation, carrying these funny thoughts in our mind, let us now move. What actually are the IPRs and why are we gathered here to understand the importance of power, importance of IPR in our daily life. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yeah. Now, in this slide, the human brain is visible. So this brain, it may be of any 2-year-old toddler, or it may be senior citizen's brain as well. So on a daily basis, whenever we are handling the queries received by the inventors, so there is a wide range of age group. So we have filed 16-year-old girl patent application relating to a musical dance floor, and we got granted 2 or 3 of the patent applications filed by senior citizens varying in the range of 65 to 75. So our human brain is constantly working on one or the idea or one or it is trying to solve one or the other problem. Only thing is that you need to know how we can utilize that power instead of wasting our time on a daily routine boredom life. So whatever human creations it is arising out of this brain, these all works, these all tasks or these all types of creations are to be referred as intellectual property rights. So if my baby is strolling on a stroller, and if the baby is trying to come out of that stroller with the help of any bolt or nut, so the baby is trying to solve the problem of coming out of that stroller. Or if my mother is trying to get rid of this boredom and she's sewing some a new woolen material, or if my father-in-law is helping me in kitchen for getting rid of his boredom. So all these works are just to take away all our uh, uh, negative thoughts, and the brain wants to stay alive to keep oneself, fresh and live. So all these creations which come out as an IP, then it has to be given a specific term. If, now I'm going to go from the bottom side on clockwise manner. So trade secrets are nothing but the traditionally known activities or things or tasks carried out by our ancestors from thousands of years ago. Like if I'm suffering from bad throat, then my mother or my granny gives me milk and turmeric. So in abroad countries, they refer it as turmeric latte. It is nothing but haldi ka doodh to get rid of the coffee throat. This is a traditional medicine prepared by our ancient uh, fellow men. So trade secret, it is already there. You need to know how traditionally they have kept everything alive to make our life comfortable. If you move to next type of IP, it refers to patents. So patents are nothing but the technological functional things which any person can carry out for trying to find a problem and trying to give a solution to a problem. Like we have seen that there were luggage carriers and there were wheels as well. The person who has identified that I can carry this luggage by putting the wheels at the bottom of that carrier. So this is nothing but a functional aspect of using both the things which are already existing in the surrounding area. So these are referred as the patents. Now, coming to the next part of IP, it is trademark. If you are a trader and if you have coined a term for selling your products or for offering your services to the end user, then it is called as a trademark. Like we are IP Adventure LLP. So we have established our brand name as IP Adventure LLP. So our trademark is IP Adventure. This is the trademark we have registered with the Government of India Trademark Registry. Next IP is the integrated circuit layout. These are the innovative layouts carried out on circuit boards to uh, carry out various types of functions or the tasks in an integrated chip layout having some silicon chips. These are also to be registered with the Government of India. Let me tell you all these types, whichever we are able to see in this slide, they are identified in India and they are to be registered with the Intellectual Property Office of Government of India, except trade secret and traditional knowledge. Maybe in next any future session, I'll be able to explain you what are trade secrets and traditional knowledges. Now moving ahead to the next type of IP, that is geographical indication. So you might have heard Assam tea or Darjeeling tea. So these are the community rights like Kolhapuri chappal or Puneri pagadi or Banarasi silk sari or Lucknowi khadi or chikankari work or the Patnam chira. All these things are the geographical indications to be assigned to a community wherein that community has taken lot of intellectual efforts to carve out that particular product or edible item or ethnic wear or any aesthetic object. All these things are subject matter of the geographical indication. All rest of the IP, they may belong to any single person or a group of person or a legal entity except geographical indication. But geographical indications are referred as community rights. So I cannot assign Kolhapuri chappal as a geographical indication to any one family. There are families in Kolhapur area who are working very hard to bring out that leather, to tan it, to make it in a certain form that it should make some kui noise. Because in the ancient days, Kolhapur was highly surrounded by the dense forest. There were huge rattlesnakes in and around the human civilization. So, in order to make that snake aware that someone is passing by, these Kolhapuri chappals were carved out by the community citizens. So, this way, these community people they have tried to find out a solution to the problem existing around them. So I think you are well aware that geographical indications are community rights. They cannot be assigned to any single person or any legal entity or any single company. Moving ahead to next type of IP, that is copyright. Copyright, there are 7 types of works which are identified as copyright works in India, like literary work. If suppose you write a novel, then it is eligible for literary work. If suppose you write down a script for a movie, then it will go under cinematographic work. If you have carved a sculpture out of any material like mud or any type of synthetic material, then it will be referred as a sculpturistic work. Like this, there are 7 types of copyright works which are eligible as a subject matter of protection to the Copyright Registry, New Delhi. Now you may have one question in your mind that I'm right from the beginning of this session I'm saying that we are creative, we are innovative, blah blah. So how about the farmer who is continuously working in his farm or plowing his soil to feed all us? Then if he or she brings out, I'm saying purposely that the farmer may be a woman or a man. So if that farmer, he or she innovates some new plant varieties, then is it a subject matter of protection? Yes, Government of India under Plant Variety Protection Act 2000, it registers the new plant variety in find out by any farmer. So there are certain procedural formalities we need to comply with to get this plant variety registered with the Plant Variety Registry Office, New Delhi. Now moving ahead next to the IP type, that is industrial design. Industrial design is a subject matter of a copyright for which aesthetic look or aesthetic appeal or aesthetic feel of that object or that article is to be protected. Now, mind well, patents they take care of the functional aspects, industrial design they take care of the aesthetic aspects of any article. And if your industrial design is protected, then it is said that industrial design of that article is copyrighted. So there you might have certain confusions about the terminologies or the phrases we use in a daily life. But over a period of time, if you keep on studying or if you keep on discussing with us people, then all these terminologies are very simple, very clear, and they have been legislated under various acts in Indian jurisdiction. Now comes the last aspect of the IP, that is traditional knowledge. We spoke about this earlier in the while describing this slide. Next is the trade secret. So trade secrets and traditional knowledge. These are the two types of IPs which we cannot protect in Indian jurisdiction under any type of IP law. As I said, traditional knowledge is abundantly available in India. So whatever is in public, you cannot protect it. So this is the requirement of the Patent Act. So traditional knowledge, whatever is there in and around us, we cannot protect it, and we cannot say that we owe right to this, because already our ancestors carried out lot of intellectual work to make this feasible to take benefit of any traditional medicine or take benefit of any traditional item for bringing comfort in our life. Now comes the last type of IP, which is called as trade secret in India. But in US, in contrast to Indian situation, in US they have the separate Trade Secret Act. But in Indian legislation, we don't have Trade Secret Act as such. But you can protect your trade secret. Like if you have a secret recipe for bringing out some snacky or some spicy feel to any of your dish, or if you have some your trade secret for carrying out your business, then you can definitely protect your trade things under the common course of civil law. Like we follow the registration of our own property, or registration of any new vehicle, like that. We can protect your trade things. It may be your trade recipe, or may it be your trade secret of any business, or trade secret of your enterprise. So all this can be protected under the common course of civil law. So to brief this slide up, patents can be used to protect the functional aspects, trademarks for protecting your brand name, logo, image, or your tagline. The integrated circuit layout, they protect your innovations carried out on any circuit board. Geographical indications, they are the community rights. They are to be protected for any food item, or for any ethnic wear, or for any toy item, or any uh, object which is carved out of the intellectual efforts of our earlier generations. And it is to be owned by the community, not by a single person or a legal entity. Next comes the copyright. So Copyright Act, it comes under Industrial Act. So rest of the IPs, they come under Industrial Act, whereas the copyright comes as a separate Copyright Act in India, and it protects seven types of works. Now, Plant Variety Act, it is being governed by the Ministry of Agriculture. Rest of the IPs, they are governed by the Department of Commerce Ministry, Government of India. But India being the agricultural economy, plant varieties, if any farmer keeps on protecting, and he observes that it will be difficult for rest of the farmers to make their life dependent on the agricultural sector. So you might have heard about the Monsanto seed case. So it's a giant seed company based out of US, which is trying to protect lots of its plant varieties in India. But in India, we have a separate act to protect the plant varieties. Unlike US, in US they have three types of patents. First is utility patent, second is design patent, and third is the plant patent. So you cannot stop others from sowing the same type of seed which is innovated by you, or which is brought to you, which is carried out some hybridization kind of things by any farmer. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yeah. So to brief this up, IPRs are nothing but these are the rights of any innovator or inventor or any creative person. Like a director of a movie is a creative person. So he or she owns the right of copyright for cinematographic work. So IPRs are nothing but the rights of community of technocrats, innovators, traders, creative humankind over the creations of their intellectual efforts. I hope you might have all got clarity on what are the IPRs and how they can be protected in India. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now you might get some confusion about the what is this intellectual or intangible property. So there are three types of properties in and around us. First is the real property. Like these are the properties which we cannot move, which we cannot carry from with us wherever or whenever we go. So it is called as a real property, like home or piece of land. Second is the next slide, please. Second is called as the chattel type of property. It means that it is a kind of object which you keep on carrying with you whenever or wherever you wish to. So these are the simple examples which are to be referred as the chattel type of property. Third property comes to be the intangible or the intellectual property. Next slide, please. Yeah. So first is the trademark, second is the copyright, and third is the patent. These all properties are there in our mind, and we people, all attorneys, copyright, patent or trademark attorneys, we help our clients to make all these things clear on a piece of paper using various forms to comply with various sections or rules of specific patent act or copyright act or trademark act to the government of India, and we file it in a manner that it should get granted. So these are the things which you cannot see or which you cannot feel with your touch. These are to be referred as the intellectual properties. Next slide, please. Yeah, these are the points of differences. I'll not read the slide as such. These are the main features which you need to know the for understanding the difference between a real property and an intellectual property. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, this is the main topic of our concern today. So I'll help you to understand the importance of role of IPR in medical sciences using three case laws. Yeah, go to next slide. Yeah. So this is a story of a young founders of Bleetech company. Ma'am, you need to stop. I'll share the video. So this video will help you to understand what is the importance of IP, what is the importance of this patent in order to make their Bleetech in company viable. So I'm sharing the screen. We just go through the story of these two girls.
Hi, I'm Jannavi Joshi.
Hi, my name is Nupura. We are the founders of Bleetech Innovations,
Our first product is Blee Watch, which is a smartwatch for deaf people to become more safe and confident.
and we work on different design and technology solutions for the deaf and hard of hearing. Bleewatch is our first product where we essentially convey different sounds like doorbell, baby crying, fire alarm, any sound through vibrations and visual alerts. So watch will listen to your environment whenever any sound occurs. If that is already in your app, you will get notified for it. Other features like text to speech templates are there. Then there is one more feature where you can just press one button and your location is shared to your 5 of your emergency contact. This feature allows them to be connected with the loved ones at all times. We were studying in MIT Design School in Pune. So when we started back in college, it was just a project where we were converting choreography counts into vibrations. We went for a dance program. There was a group of deaf dancers performing, and their dance instructor was in between audience and performers, and she was continuously giving them counts. So for us, it was a challenging scenario to solve this problem, and we started researching about it. Then we realized that deaf people usually relate sound to vibration, so we started converting choreography counts into vibrations. We have different vibration patterns like 4-beat pattern, 3-beat pattern, which will tell the deaf dancers what is the speed of the music. So then we expanded the scope of the product, and now we have a watch which can convey any sound that you want to get notified for. At that time, we didn't have money, so we used to do design freelance projects to support this venture. Luckily, we got great support from Zone Startup. Zone Startup gave us all the infrastructure support, mentorship, and then came in Social Alpha. Social Alpha is a Tata Trust initiative. We also got some investment from IIT Mumbai from their incubator Sign. We started one small activity called Ask Blee, where we used to take all the questions and we used to answer them back in Indian Sign Language. So we started this as a marketing initiative to, actually reach out to the deaf community. Extension of this activity is now an app, Android app, Blee TV, which is already live. We have more than 5,000 downloads. We have English learning videos, we have political videos, we have news related videos. We see a great potential in both of our products. Blee Watch, the commercial version, will be ready in 3-4 months. Cost price of the product will be somewhere around 7,500. We are obviously trying to get it as low as possible, but for that we will need to manufacture it in bulk. We are working with a company called Design Alpha. These guys are handling our optimization for manufacturing, design for manufacturing. We are exploring different opportunities like CSR funding, where we can donate some devices to some of the individuals. We are also looking at direct B2C sales, and we are also partnering with different NGOs and institutions who are working for the deaf. Will be getting bulk orders from them.
So this was a story of two young girls from Pune. They started all this R&D way back in 2016, and it got commercialized somewhere in 2018. So before filing the patent application, there were no investors to catch attention of their work. Once they filed the patent application with Indian Patent Office, they got a grant by the Tata Trust Initiative of 60 lakhs. So this is the power of IP. You need to understand in the global digital economy how much it is important to secure your idea before it is being commercialized. So this is again solving one of the problems of the deaf and dumb community. These two girls are we made these two girls, myself and my partner Shalaka. These are young and enthusiastic girls, and they are working around inventing many of the devices for to make the life comfortable of the specially challenged people. Next slide, please. Now, this is a story of a US doctor, which will you help to understand the importance of IP in terms of philanthropical aspects. So, ma'am, please stop sharing. I'll play the video of Dr. Gary Michelson, so that it will be useful for the audience to understand how you can protect your IP and how you can be very generous to the society by creating new examples. In India, we feel that this is the case of innovative people. We need not to do all these things, and I'm happy with my academic or career things. How can I bring out innovation? But this video will help you to understand the things.
When he was a child, Dr. Michelson's grandmother suffered from a spinal disease that destroyed her ability to sense hot and cold, made it difficult to walk, and caused unremitting severe low back pain.
So I can remember being a little boy and being over at my grandmother's house, and she's making macaroni. And she's got her hand on the stove, and I smell this horrible smell. And I look over, and her hand's on fire, and she's just leaning on the stove talking to me.
Michelson was determined to help his grandmother and others, a passion that's made him the most prolific spinal surgery inventor of all time. However, while in medical school in the late 1970s, a professor told him not to specialize in back surgery.
He said, back patients don't get better.
Spinal surgery was highly invasive and left many patients permanently disabled.
So I said to myself, this can't be right.
In the early 1980s, Dr. Michelson began his own spinal surgery practice at a Los Angeles area hospital, from where he'd arrive home thinking about better ways to help his patients.
I'd be eating dinner and working on my ideas. If it was small, I'd cut these things or make these things at my kitchen table. If it was big and needed machinery, I'd go out in my garage.
Michelson saw that the key to better outcomes was minimally invasive surgery, particularly for a surgeon with NBA-sized hands. The systems that he invented for minimally invasive spinal fusion surgery can reduce a traumatic multi-hour operation into an outpatient procedure.
One day, you come in, you go out. People walk out on their own. That's crazy. Before this, people were in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Today, his more than 250 spinal surgery-related patents form a core part of a more than $5 billion a year industry, and Michelson technology guides surgeons worldwide.
I invented comprehensive systems that had at least the implants, the instruments, and the new operations that all work together. And they work together to achieve that goal of allowing a tremendously high rate of reproducibility despite who the surgeon was.
And every year, Dr. Michelson's inventions help more than 700,000 Americans walk tall and pain-free.
So likewise, the role of patents and its protection and its commercialization, as well as its generous nature of Dr. Gary Michelson. He donated all these patents. Go to next slide. That information is there about his number of patents he sold out. Yeah. So there were 340 US granted patents. Then these patents, they were related to instruments, methods, and devices for for carrying out few advances in spinal and orthopedic surgeries. And there are some 950 issued or pending patents worldwide in other jurisdictions. Then he sold out all these patents. Go to next slide, please. And he established a Michelson Medical Research Foundation to fund cutting-edge medical research. In the contrary, we as Indians, we feel that if I'm a doctor, I cannot think like an engineer. Why should I invent something which is not there to find out some solution or to make my life easy? So this mindset, we all IP practitioners trying to break the mindset of typical stereotype. So any doctor can be an engineer nowadays, or any engineer can perform all doctor related things. I mean, if an engineer wants to solve any health related issues, then he or she can definitely work around the existing problem and can bring some solution which is feasible very easily. So next story is the this is a story of highly developed country. So Gary Michelson might be very rich or very giant personality. He may afford US patent prosecution expenses and all that. You may feel that it is really difficult in Indian context to bring all these things in a real life scene. If you go to next slide, you will be able to see our adorable sibling inventors, wherein they brought some life saving device or a system, and we help them to get it granted with the government of India. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is a typical scenario. If you are traveling or commuting to far places in intercity or intracity, then there's ambulance, it gets stuck up in the traffic. Next slide, please. So this is the way how we are dealing with the to provide a smooth way to the ambulance. But the inventors, our sibling inventors, they brought out innovation. Next slide, please. Yeah. So they brought out some innovative aspects to the existing things in order to provide some justice to the for the purposes of human welfare. So I'll play the video which will tell you the story of Shubham, a young electronics engineer, and a Sheetal, young electrical engineer. Both are brother and sisters, and they carried out some innovation in the existing things, and the government of India, they gave a grant for this system. So I'll explain their invention using this video.
Life is a precious thing which is gifted to us by God. So it's our duty to prevent and save our life. As we all know, everyone on this earth can survive for a long time, but due to some lack of facility, we fail. Taking an example of an ambulance. Sometimes we see ambulance users stuck in traffic light, but that time we are helpless. As sometime other signal light is green and ambulance is stuck in a red light. And sometimes there is too much conjunction in the same lane. Or you must have seen a patient lying on a stretcher without any personal data and given a normal treatment. At this condition, usually hospital used to connect with police and waiting to get details from police station so that hospital can inform to patient family. So to avoid all this, we have implemented system and method for minimizing pre-treatment time for a person in casualty in your habitus environment. So let me explain you how our system works. As we all know, traffic light function normal in normal condition. As soon as well ambulance with patient moving towards the hospital or without patient moving to the incident place, which is detected from X distance before the traffic junction. The signal for that road will turn green for X time till that ambulance passes traffic junction, and then signal will resume to the normal function. Condition 1. If another ambulance is detected on the same road and the signal remain clean green till the second ambulance passes. Condition 2. If suppose two ambulances are detected in opposite lane, then first in first out priority will be followed. That means ambulance which is detected first, that route signal will be green for X time till that ambulance passes, and then another route signal will be green after the first ambulance passes. You might be having a question in your mind that how ambulance is identified. Each ambulance will be associated with the unique identification card with unique number which says ambulance ID. When someone calls on 108 from the incident location where incident has taken place, then the system admin, i.e. control room, will search for the ambulance, and whichever ambulance is free, that ambulance will be assigned for the duty. This will get updated on the server. In short, ambulance will be assigned with the duty ID. When the ambulance will pick up the patient unique ID, for example Aadhaar card number, will be obtained from the biometric scan of the patient. This will be updated on the server. Patient fingerprint is not limited to only fingerprints, but it also contains iris scan, face scan, etc. will be scanned, and associated unique ID for the person will be fetched from the server. Multiple biometric scanner, LED screen, mini computer, and communication unit to connect with the server will be used here in the ambulance. So now, along with the duty ID, patient ID will be associated with the ambulance ID. At the same time, a notification will send to the hospital and hospital will be calling to the patient family. And also family will be notified with location of the hospital and doctor will be notified with the medical history of the patient. So there will be no more delay in the treatment. When the reader will detect an incoming ambulance, it will check from the server if any duty ID is linked with the ambulance. If it is linked, then only the signal controller will be triggered. Otherwise, normal signal function will be observed. Here, an internet communication unit will be required. The duty ID and other details will be reset to default when the ambulance reaches the hospital with the patient. This will be done by receiving an authority at the hospital. Each activity on the server will be recorded with timestamp, and all the transaction and the communication are taking place through the server. Each action will be recorded on the storage unit. Local storage unit can be deployed on the external SD card module to log the activities. This entire statistical log of activities will be available to the concerned authorities if required in the future. I hope you understood the system. Thank you.
So now they have moved one step ahead. Now, after getting a grant in Indian jurisdiction, these siblings they have applied for a patent application in Australian jurisdiction. Next slide, please, ma'am. Yeah. So this is the title of their innovation, but it is a bit difficult to understand the terminologies and all that. Next slide, please. So how this system works, you might have seen in the video. Next slide, please. So whenever any ambulance it is stuck in the traffic, the system invented by Shubham and Sheetal, it clears all the traffic prior to the arrival of ambulance itself, and slowly the smooth green corridor is maintained throughout the journey of that ambulance to the desired destination. Next slide, please. So this prior to reaching the injured person to the healthcare facility, the medical history of that person is already available with the healthcare professionals. So this saves the time and it helps the healthcare professionals to identify the line of treatment and the next plan of action in order to save the life of the injured person. And it brings lot of advantages along with it may be highly useful for during the pandemic kind of situations. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the Indian patent application of Shubham and Shital, which was published. Next slide. This is a granted patent certificate by the Indian Patent Office. Next slide. Yeah, this is an Australian patent application which we have filed last month in the with the Australian Patent Office. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. If there are any queries, I can take you a brief uh, perspective of any type of complicated IP matter. You can put in the chat box, or Bina ma'am will help me to go through the queries. I hope this presentation helped you all to understand how IPRs are important in our daily lives, and how their implementation, protection, and safeguarding of all these innovative works is highly important for carrying out some sort of human life at a comfortable level. Are there any questions, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you please post them in chat box, or
Yes, ma'am. ये मुझे
yeah,
question दो. Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
First, ma'am, it is a very informative and very interesting, ma'am, presentation, and it is very, matlab, by videos, it is very interesting, ma'am. Very interesting
yeah,
and very informative, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one query. It was
yeah.
asked by Dr. Sas Viswas, and he is a
Okay,
very senior professor here. Sir is
okay,
asking, first, sir said it is a very enlightening presentation, and
yeah. Thank you.
sir want to know about the any Indian patents on plant-based cardiac nanovalves and nano stent for human use.
Okay, I have to pull out all these patents. So can you please post it in the chat box, so that I'll come back to you after searching all these patents. And if sir is trying to know what are all the things the earlier inventors or the earlier researchers they have claimed, or they have carried out the research work, so I'll definitely help him, ma'am. Don't worry. And sorry
Uh,
for this technical glitch. I was unable to share my presentation, so participants they kept on waiting. So sorry for that.
any queries?
Any
Ma'am, I'm
queries from the
looking for the.
participants? Okay. Or if they want to ask me in person, you can share my contact details with them. I am ready to clarify their queries, if how to identify any type of IP, or how to move ahead for protecting patents, or for protecting copyrights and all that, because all these IPRs, they have well established Indian acts legislated by our Indian visionary legal fraternity, and each and every IP is well identified, well protected in the jurisdiction of IP. And in our global fraternity, it is said that it is highly difficult to get a Indian patent granted, because in US or Australia or in South Africa, it is bit easy. I'm not saying that all the applications are granted there, but it is somewhat little bit easier as compared to the Indian patent office. So we all are proud of our Indian Patent Act, and we are trying to make our lives better by helping the innovators, inventors, or grassroots educators to protect their relevant type of IP.
Ma'am, there is one question, and
Yeah.
it was asked by Ankit Kumar Satyam, and
Okay.
he is asking about there is there any IPR awareness program?
Yes. We conduct our IPR awareness programs with NIPAM, that is National Intellectual Property Awareness Mission, or TIFAC, Technology Information Forecasting Assessment Council, New Delhi, or we also conduct at IP Adventure LLP both. I mean, customized IPR awareness sessions, or the usual IPR awareness sessions. So Satyam sir, you can contact me for we will arrange one more session, either it may be virtual or physical one if possible, and we will help you to understand what are these IPRs and why these are important, and how Indian situation is there in terms of global IP index, that we will help you to know.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the very informative and very interesting lecture. Ma'am, again, Ankit Kumar Satyam, he want
Yeah.
to know about how many years IPR is filed. For how many years IPR
I
is
mean,
filed?
let me
Yes.
question. Yeah, so he might be having a question in his mind that how long it takes for a patent to get granted. So generally it takes 2 to 6 years for getting a patent, for getting any patent granted, or for trademark it takes 8 to 12 months, or it may go around 2 or 4 years as well. Or for copyright it takes generally 6 months to 1 year's time period. Or for geographical indications it takes a little bit more time. For industrial designs it takes 6 to 8 months time period for to get it registered. So for people like us, we need to understand the client's requirement, why he wants or she wants to protect this IP, and is the relevant IP important for the commercial benefits he or she is trying to accrue from such type of protection. Because it will not help you to get that certificate and paste it on your wall. You need to some extract some commercial benefits out of your IP as well. So we carry out invention disclosure meetings with the inventors, and we understand the appropriate requirement, and we identify the type of relevant IP which is to be filed, and we guide them how to fill up all the required forms and all that, and we get the filings done. So it's not a single one answer to get all the IP rights registered with the government of India, because each and every act is specifically designed to maintain the timelines, to check the formality requirements, to check the technical requirements of filing of any IP. I hope, Satyam sir, I answered your query.
Yes, ma'am. He is satisfied by your answer, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your precious time and your precious talk, ma'am. And it is a very informative and valuable for all of us, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dolphin Institute. We always have a great pleasure to work with DIBNS. Thanks a lot, Bina ma'am, and the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Can we stop here, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Thanks
ma'am.
a lot to all of the participants who have joined. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.